Hi, everyone. Good evening. We'll get started shortly, just waiting for a couple more people to join us. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Hello again. My name is Julia Hall. I am an admissions representative at Syracuse University. I wanted to start by congratulating you on your acceptance to Syracuse. We look forward to sharing with you today what you can expect when you join the Orange family this fall. We're excited to share with you this evening additional information on our career services. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items. As a reminder, the admissions acceptance form is due by May 1st with the corresponding advance payment to secure your seat for the fall 2026 semester. Please refer your acceptance notification in student portal for all necessary information. I am also joined by our panelist, Adam Capozzi today, and I will allow him to introduce himself. Throughout today's presentation, my colleague Kate Domagal and I will be behind the screens answering your questions. Please feel free to use the Q&A feature in this webinar to connect with us. We will also allow some time at the end to answer questions live. Again, you can submit your questions using the Q&A feature at the bottom of your Zoom screen. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Adam. Take it away.
Thank you, Julia. Give me one second. I'm going to share my screen here for everyone. Can everyone see that? Caitlin, Julia, are we good with that?
Yep, we can see it.
Great. So let me first start off with saying I was just explaining to Julia and Caitlin that I cannot take credit for the visual layout of this presentation today, and I mean that in the best way forward. These is our amazing student workers here in our office to help put this together. But I'm really glad to be here with you this evening. As mentioned, my name is Adam Capozzi. I am the Director of Career Services, Assessment, and Student Success here at Syracuse. And my goal here really is to give you a better sense of how we help students in career services turn their curiosity and interest into real experiences, skills, and ultimate career outcomes. For the incoming students that are here tonight, you really have already made a huge decision by choosing Syracuse. And I know you'll have many more over the next few years. So it's really, truly our job here to make sure that you feel like you're doing everything not alone, but with a support system in place, specifically from the career services lens. So a little bit about me. I'm originally from just outside the Syracuse area. I moved back here in 2014, and this month actually starts my 12th year here at the university, which is a little crazy to think about when I say it out loud. But I have managed our central career office since January of 2020 and currently lead a team of 8 professionals who cover the full spectrum of career development support. We make sure every student, regardless of their major, background, or goals, has access to the tools and support and opportunities they need to really be thriving during their 4 year trajectory. My team's work spans everything from advising, coaching, employer partnerships, data, student success. And but the long and short of all of this is that we really help students get to where they want to be going at their own individual pace because nothing is cookie cutter here at Syracuse. We know every single person's journey is unique in their own right, and we want to make sure that they are aware of it from day one. So the thing that really sets SU apart is our career model. We're strategically distributed, which means we have 50 professional staff members spread across this campus. That means career services isn't just in one office, in one building. It's truly a support system that lives across the university. So every student gets access to the team in Central Career Services, which is me and my group, but they also have a dedicated career embedded career specialist team who understands their major and industry, as well as bridges the in-class experience with real-world application by working directly with the faculty of their college, as well as dedicated employer engagement staff that brings the amazing organizations that hires talent here from Syracuse directly to campus, and data and assessment tools that help students make informed decisions. So instead of you bouncing around trying to figure out who can help you, we have truly built a system that wraps around you. So you feel supported from day one, as I keep on mentioning. Now, before we get into the services that you will have access to, I want to highlight the impact of this model, this career services network, because it's more than just a design choice on our behalf to really be aiding you. or really a cool graphic that you see right here on your screen. It's an emphasis on creating an unsurpassed student experience. So students don't have to really hunt for answers. I love that aspect of what we've accomplished together as a group. So whether students are meeting with someone at the school or college level or come to meet us at our office, they're entering one coordinated system that coordinates and aligns around their successes. It also means guidance happens extremely early. And when I say extremely early, you're going to see really a lot of members of our career services network helping with move in. But more consistently with better information is also like what I like to say, not just a last minute instance of you connecting with us or having something happen by accident. We're extremely intentional in the way that we're trying to connect with you. And because all the parts of this system are working together, students do get a clear direction and real opportunities right when they need them. So think of that moment where you're just sitting in your dorm room and you're like, I want to find career support. We're here and I'm going to show you how, even from a virtual component. So, bottom line to all of this is that students don't need to figure this out alone. And I feel like you're going to see that as a consistent theme, not just through our career services network, but with every component of what this university is set up to offer you. So now let's talk a little bit about the day-to-day support students do actually receive, because this is where our work really becomes real and personal. At the core, we offer individual career advising for anything students truly need. So that's exploring majors, narrowing down interests, building application materials, or preparing for job and internship searches. It's extremely customized, and we meet students exactly where they are, both in person and virtually. But a huge value add is our workshops and programs that are available throughout the academic year. We run sessions on the traditional essentials. So everything from resume and cover letter strategy, building a strong LinkedIn profile, interview prep and communication skills, and networking and relationship building. But we also offer experiences that help students show up with confidence in professional environments. So that is some of these programs I definitely want to make sure that you're aware of, because you are going to see these pretty much from day one all throughout your 4 years that I truly find immense value in. One is our etiquette dining and networking programs. We host several of these events throughout the academic year for students to learn professional dining etiquette, how to navigate business meals, how to network in real time with alumni and employer partners. These are extremely and incredibly hands-on and very popular amongst our student population. Then there's our LinkedIn campus visits. We have a very long running, deep collaboration partnership with LinkedIn, and we bring them to campus. Their teams, specifically 2 to 3 members of their organization that are actually alumni of SU, 1 to 2 times each semester. Students get insider insights on personal branding, modern recruiting tactics, how employers are actually using LinkedIn when hiring talent. They can do one-on-one sessions, they can do small group conversations, even get their profiles reviewed in real time to help them boost their backgrounds so they can be seen by those institutions, organizations that they're heavily interested in pursuing further for internships or full-time opportunities. And then recently, one of our more popular has been our financial literacy program, because a career isn't just about getting a job. It's about really managing life as well. We offer programming on budgeting, salary negotiations, benefits, and understanding compensation packages, so students feel prepared for that first big step post commencement. And all this really truly is designed to meet students at different stages. We know that your first semester is all about exploring options, or your senior year is about navigating final round interviews. So these programs are set up to really be meeting you exactly at those different touch points. So it's a little bit of something for everyone. I like to say that they truly create low pressure, high impact ways for students to build their skills and confidence that need not a lot of time for us to work with them and get them ready for whatever they're up for next. Now, after students build their foundational skills, we start really wanting to make sure that they feel more confident. The next step is connecting them with real opportunities. One of the biggest strengths at Syracuse University's career ecosystem is the value and the quality of our employer engagement opportunities that we provide each year for our students to be participating in. On average, we run 5 to 7 major career events each academic year. And these include industry specific fairs, large scale all major events, and recruiting showcases that bring hundreds of employers to campus. We also host many virtual opportunities as well to complement these during specifically our colder months, which unfortunately for those of you that are not from the Syracuse area, we do have many of those throughout the academic year. So we want to make sure that you are comfortable behind your computer and able to be meeting with employers and alumni in that avenue as well. In addition to this, each year, specifically in the fall semester, we host our graduate and law school fair, which gives students direct access to programs across the country. It truly is a valuable way for students to explore continuing education, comparing pathways, and talk one-on-one with amazing admission representatives that are overseeing immensely cool programs that they could be dipping their toes into. And just last week, I wanted to make sure that I was able to boast about some of our successes around these experiences. We just launched our first ever on campus career conference, which was a huge milestone for us. At this conference, students participated in professional development sessions led by dedicated alumni and employer partners, covering everything from hard skill development to communication, collaboration, and leadership. It truly created an immersive real world environment where students could learn directly from the people doing the work that they actually want to be doing and are interested in pursuing further. Now, beyond campus, this is where things get really cool. And one of my main areas that I love to be speaking on and helping manage my team with is that we run a plethora of immersive off campus programs called immersions in major hubs like New York City, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, Silicon Valley, and several other spots. We bring students to these areas for anywhere from 2 to 5 days at a time to meet with amazing alumni, tour organizations, learn about different career roles, and make professional connections that often lead to internships or full-time opportunities. Just this past spring break, as a university, we ran about 14 of these different immersion programs across several different locations, with the main hubs being the West Coast in Los Angeles and San Francisco, and on the East Coast, it was in Boston, New York City, and Washington, D.C. So the great thing is that these events are just really about relationship building opportunities. They actually give students access to hands-on understanding of what career paths actually look like. And by visiting these organizations, it really is an eye opener for them to see if this is something that they want to be pursuing further, or giving them enough time to come back to campus to be learning about different ways that they could be pivoting, changing majors, or exploring new opportunities. Now, one of the most meaningful resources we offer outside of what I've already shared, and honestly, one that can really make a change to a student's trajectory, is our internship funding support. We all know that some of the best learning experiences come from internships, but not all internships are paid. And in some fields, especially think of the arts, nonprofit, media, entertainment, public service traditionally offer limited compensation. And when a student gets to an offer in another city, there's a lot that goes into thinking about the cost of housing, transportation, food, and even clothing for a professional environment that can really be a true barrier for them. And that's exactly why these programs exist. So our internship funding allows students to say yes to opportunities they might otherwise may turn down. It helps them cover everything from living arrangements, transportation to and from the experience, meals, and other professional expenses related to an internship like supplies or attire. This also allows students to really focus on learning, building skills, and making connections and not worrying about their finances. Here on the screen, you're going to actually see three of the experiences that are hosted via our office. The first one being the Clements Award, which is our oldest standing experience. We're actually going into year 20 of this program, and it's set up for students, undergrad and grad, who are taking on untraditional opportunities or creating an internship out of nothing. So think of research, think of volunteership. It's great. We have a bucket of money that we're able to allot out to a specific number of students each year for this opportunity, and the compensation range anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. This past year, we did have 17 students that were able to take on this internship award. The next one is our largest award, and it's very fittingly named our Internship Funding Award. And we're currently starting year 6 of this program. And this is open to all undergraduate students that have already secured either a paid or an unpaid summer opportunity, but are still in need of further financial relief. And as you can see here, we were able to provide just short of $1 million in support of this award just this past year to 285 students campus wide. And then finally, we have our newest award, which was just launched this past year in 2025 and is specifically sponsored by the university's Washington, D.C. Alumni Club. This is specifically for students on a summer opportunity in the nation's capital. And those that receive this award are also given the opportunity to connect with members of the Alumni Club for personalized mentorship throughout their summer experience. On top of these 3 awards that you see right here, there are several other additional funding sources that are open to students. And to learn more about them is actually a great transition point for us because we're going to talk a little bit about our career technology platforms. So a major advantage that Syracuse University students have is the range of career tech tools that they get access to from the moment that they gain their syr.edu email address. These platforms help students explore careers, build skills, and get feedback anytime they need it, not just when our office is open. Our goal is to truly make sure that students have support 24/7, and these tools really make sure that that is possible. Here you'll see some of the main resources that are promoted out to all students, starting from the moment that they begin here at Syracuse, with the main one being the first top left corner handshake. This is our main career services hub for all jobs, internships, on campus employment, scheduling advising appointments with members of the career team, learning about ways to apply for internship awards and immersion programs that we just spoke about, employer visits to campus, and events to get dedicated to all professional development. Students can customize their profiles, follow companies, get opportunities recommended to them all throughout their time using the system. And it's truly the first place students should be checking for anything career services related. Then there's VMOC. This tool gives a rapid resume and cover letter feedback to any individual in the system. Instead of waiting days for a review by a career advisor, students can upload a document and get guidance within seconds. It helps them continually improve, get materials recruiter ready by giving suggestions and real-time feedback. Also, for students who do not already have a resume, there are templates readily accessible for them in the system so they can get started right then and there. The next is Big Interview. This is a fantastic tool for interview prep. So think about students that are looking to get a leg up and practicing for an interview. This is going to be the spot for you. This practice mock interviews are really based on industry. You can record yourself, get instant AI feedback, and build confidence long before you're actually in front of a real employer or an alum. It's especially helpful for students who feel anxious about interviewing or just really truly want to refine their communication skills. Then there's Firsthand. Firsthand is our career exploration and mentoring platform. It's one of the most powerful ways for students to connect directly with Syracuse University alumni. The platform automates mentor matching based on a student's academic interests and career goals, and students can actually schedule 30-minute virtual meetings with the alumni mentors right there in the system. Then you have Interstride. This is especially valuable for our international student population. It offers immigration guidance, global job search tools, webinars, and employer insights. But domestic students can also use it to explore international work or continue education opportunities abroad. And then in the bottom right corner, you have LinkedIn Learning. As I've talked already, LinkedIn is a huge partner with our institution, but an aspect of the platform that I feel is growing each and every day, and our students are taking more advantage of every time I speak with them, is the LinkedIn Learning component. Students have access to 24,000 plus short practical courses, everything from Excel to project management, public speaking, graphic design, and leadership skills. It's truly a great way to build technical and soft skills at their own pace, very asynchronously to the work of their dedicated major, minor, or discipline. So, really, needless to say, we truly have a system for pretty much everything. So, I'm really happy that our students have this information and access to these amazing tools at all times. Now, outside of all these amazing career tech tools, another area that we've recently expanded our support is helping students present themselves professionally, especially in ways that are accessible and comfortable, as these are two fantastic options that we just launched in the last 12 months. The first is our virtual career closet, which is a professional styling service designed specifically to help students feel confident and prepared for interviews, networking events, participation in immersion programs, or on campus recruitment, or any other career advancing opportunities. Students can work directly with a virtual stylist and receive a curated box of up to 6 professional clothing items that ships directly to their door. The box typically arrives within 5 to 7 business days, and the students can keep these items for up to 30 business days afterwards. From there, they can purchase any of these items they love at up to 60 to 80% off retail price, and they are getting some amazing brand items. Or if they don't like them and want to return them, everything is free. So using it's free, prepaid shipping with no dry cleaning or laundry services required. Students enrolled in a degree granting program may also be eligible for a one-time voucher that covers the full cost of a single box. The next is also our professional photo booth, which Caitlin and Julia and I were talking about real quickly before everyone jumped on. Starting this past summer in 2025, we now offer a high quality self-service photo booth right inside our office space in Central Career Services on Waverly Ave. Students can drop in anytime between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday with no appointment needed to get a polished professional headshot for their LinkedIn or Handshake profiles, portfolios, or even their graduate school applications. Or if they would like to update their social media profile pictures, this is a great opportunity as well. Both of these resources help students make a really strong first impression, and most importantly, it helps students feel confident. And confidence really goes such a long way these days, and we want to make sure that they feel that. Now that we got the students feeling prepared, personally, professionally, and stylistically, it's a great time to transition into student outcomes. This slide highlights something that I'm incredibly proud of, the real outcomes of our most recent class of 2025. And I'll be honest with you, this is where I spend a lot of my time behind the scenes, reviewing our data, understanding the trends, tracking where students land, making sure the support we are providing is truly translating into meaningful, tangible results. These outcomes tell the story of how our model works in practice. They reflect students securing strong job offers, gaining acceptance into graduate and professional programs, stepping into service, research, and industry pathways that align with their interests and strengths within 6 months of graduation. What I love about this slide is that it's not just about the numbers, it represents thousands of individual moments as well. So, career conversations that help students find clarity, workshops that build confidence, networking events that open doors, employer engagements that led directly to offers, and students taking advantage of the tools, funding, and support to turn opportunities into outcome. Truly, every data point here is tied to a students we have worked with, a partnership we have built, and a system designed to meet students early, meet them often, and meet them where they are, as I keep on mentioning. So when you look at these results, know that they are a product of intentional structure, collaborative support across campus, and students who also are doing their due diligence to put in the work. And it's a reflection of what's possible when students fully engage with the resources readily available to them. Building off those outcomes that we just looked at, this also gives you a snapshot of where our students are actually landing. The employers hiring them and the graduate professional programs that they're enrolling with can be seen here, but this is only a small snippet of that. Even though this slide is truly text heavy, so I do apologize on that, it's incredibly impactful. When you look at these names, you see a range of industries and institutions that truly value Syracuse students. So it's everything from major corporations, nonprofits, media, creative agencies, as well as government and public service departments. This list really truly reflects the diversity of interest and the strengths of our students and what they bring to any area of the professional world. And as I said earlier, please know that this is only a small sample size of where our students are actually going. And specifically on the right side, you're going to see a really strong mix of institutions where our graduates are furthering their education through either law programs or specialty master's degrees. These represent students who want to deepen their academic experience, either pivot into new areas of interest or accelerate career trajectory with advanced learning. Now, I know I've shared a lot with you this evening, probably more than you expected when you signed up for this. And while I could keep on talking because believe me, I can talk about career development all day, it's always important to hear from someone who has actually gone through this process and worked directly with career services. And yes, I'm going to pick a nice comment and feedback, but here is a student's perspective. And honestly, they say it the best. Student told us really don't wait. And I love that because it captures exactly what we hope students take away from all of this. It's meeting with us early didn't make things more overwhelming for them. It made their future feel a lot clearer and way more exciting. And if a student is straight up telling us that career services made their life easier, you know that's real because I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Students don't hold back. They tell you how it is, and we have to be appreciative of that. Their experiences is a great reminder that we don't need a plan to come see us. We just need curiosity and maybe 30 minutes, and we're just going to help you figure out the rest from there. I'm going to take the rest of the time and say thank you as much for listening to me blab on and on this evening. But honestly, I hope you're leaving this conversation with a clearer picture of how intentional Syracuse University supports its students, not just academically, but professionally and personally. And as I said, I would love to open up the rest of our time to any questions that you have for me.
Thank you, Adam. That was very insightful. We have quite a few great questions in the chat, so I'll go ahead and read off some of those. First one for you is how are students made aware of these programs and seminars?
Great question. So we are going to tell the students from day one, be checking your email, be logging into Handshake, be meeting with your career staff, and be very cognizant of all the digital signage and flyers that are being promoted across campus. Because if you put 10 students in a room, eight of them are going to tell you they want to be communicated with differently from one another. So we pretty much have to hit them from all angles. I know sometimes email might be a little daunting for students, but we say stay on top of it. That's going to be a great way to be connecting with your professors, getting questions answered by professional staff, and we curate content specifically for them through all the platforms. So as long as they're staying diligent to be looking at those, especially following us on social media, our careers Instagram account is very up to date with all the programming and experiences that we are running each and every week.
Thank you. Our next one, how competitive are the immersion experiences and internships, and can students do more than one immersion experience?
Great question. So the immersion programs are fantastic because yes, we run several instances through our central office, but each of the schools and colleges pretty much run their own programs as well. I want to say on average as an institution, we have about 28 to 30 programs ran each year. So there's a high probability that a student can take on more than one experience. But our goal is to always make sure at least one opportunity is provided to each student. And by sheer number, we know that's not going to always happen. But I would say typically we see maybe about 10% of our population here at Syracuse take on one or more immersion program. Um, Now, from the internship search, I would say it's competitive, but it's the most that a student can be diligent of working with us. We're going to lighten the load of what it actually looks like, their search process and achievement in finding something throughout their 4 years here. We see many students tackling internships earlier and often, starting in just after their first year. I would say on average, we're seeing most students completing two during their time here at Syracuse. So yeah, definitely do as many as you possibly can, and that's also where the internship funding award comes into play. Those awards in particular, those are I should have mentioned one-time only experiences. So if a student does receive the internship funding award in their bridge year between their sophomore and junior year, they do not have the ability to go back to that award the following year. But we educate them on all the other funding sources that are readily accessible as well.
So this kind of leads into our next question. Do you have to apply for the internship award or does it automatically go to the students that are doing internships?
Another great question. So as I keep on mentioning, Handshake is kind of like our end all be all. I'm always going to scream to the high heavens, be in Handshake, be attentive. Pretty much, this is where you're going to find all application information for all these experiences. So, specifically with the internship funding award, you already need to have secured your internship. So, working with career services, getting an official offer from an organization or an opportunity for the upcoming summer. Once you receive that, you can then apply for the funding through Handshake's application process. Typically, based on the timing of the year, because the award opens up February 1st each year and runs all the way through June, because we know students are even getting opportunities post the academic year ending. We say once you submit your application and have all your application materials completed correctly, and we'll be very honest if things need to be updated or changed, it's typically a 10 to 15-day process for review as well as announcing the amount of award that you would be receiving should you be granted the opportunity.
Great. Here's an interesting one. How is Syracuse adapting to the rise of AI in the workplace?
Yes, I knew I was going to be getting this question. AI is here. It's very loud. It's very proud of all the capabilities that it's able to offer a student to aid them both in the classroom and outside of it. From the career services lens, we are really leaning into it as a complementary tool. Now, we want to make sure that students are aware that this is not going to be your crutch to get you over the top or do the work for you. You really need to be learning how to use it as an accessory to your day to day. How can it help you streamline your tasks, your responsibilities, and your coursework so you can be optimizing your time more effectively? We say if you're ever going to be using AI, double, triple, and quadruple check that if it's writing an email for you, it's doing it in the way that sounds like yourself. It's actually speaking like you because if you are going to be putting on a communication to a fellow colleague here at Syracuse, a professor, or even an alumni and employer, we want that first line of communication to match when they do meet you in person, the same interaction and instance that they're looking to achieve, because that's the last thing that we want. We don't want a student walking into a job interview where on their resume, which was potentially AI enhanced, speaks to the amount of skills that they have, which yes, students do have great skills, but we want to make sure that they're actually proficient in everything that they're showcasing.
So how does career services work after graduation?
Awesome. So all students that graduate Syracuse University, I'm thinking of this upcoming class of 2026 that walks across the stage in 4 weeks, which is crazy to think. They have direct access to our central career office as well as the individual schools and colleges for up to one full calendar year after the fact. So and all those students that walk across stage on May 10th or 11th, 2026 have access to us until May 10th, 11th, 2027. Now, that's not the end of the road for them. We have an amazing contingent of alumni support within the Office of Alumni Career Services. That's housed within alumni and constituent engagement, where they work with students for lifelong career support. You'll still have access to all of our career tech platforms. You'll also have systems that are more curated for alumni of this institution to be participating in. So trust me, you'll never stop being orange.
I like that. How does getting a job in the university work for an international student?
So is the question geared towards on-campus employment or working as a professional post-graduation? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I can kind of speak to both. So the first one, on-campus employment. What is great about our space here in Waverly Ave, where our office is located, we actually share a corridor area right down the hall with the Office of Student Employment. They handle all domestic and international students who are looking to gain on-campus work experience through either working with faculty within the different departments as front desk student workers, working food and dining services, you name it. And they have a high contingent of foot traffic with our international students, so they're very accustomed to be working with them. You learn about all the job opportunities via Handshake, as I keep on mentioning, and I'll always say that is where you're going to start. You apply for the opportunity using your resume, your profile, and then you work with a hiring manager for onboarding. And then the Office of Student Employment helps you with your I-9 processing. It's a fairly simple and easy process. Now, the second part of what I asked you back, Julia, is looking to work at the university. We do see a small group of international students stay on for either graduate programming or a gap year based on OPT, CPT status that are looking to take on research opportunities. So those are very active that we recommend students to be looking at the Syracuse University Human Resources job portal, not just Handshake, going into their senior year to be learning about what types of positions could be readily accessible for them.
Thank you. How common is it for students to have internships, jobs, or work experience opportunities each summer? And is there a timeline that you prefer?
There is no perfect timeline because every student's journey is their own journey. So while I like to say get your hands-on work experience early and often, we do see a lot of students potentially not even start their internship search until the summer between their junior and senior year, and that's perfectly fine. We understand that a finance student's career trajectory is going to look a lot different than someone that might be in the creative arts or performing arts space. I would say typically that gap summer between sophomore and junior year is where you see a lot of students diving into exploring what they want to be truly doing now that they've had 4 semesters of academic experience under their belt. With that third year putting motion into action, and by fourth year hitting the ground running with the full-time job search or exploring what type of graduate programs that they want to be looking at. I would say from an on-campus employment standpoint, high number of our undergraduate students do have on-campus jobs. For reference, our career office, we currently employ 10 student workers that work in between managing our front desk, helping with our social media, project management support, to even helping with day of event assistance.
Great. So we had a few questions about specific career services for individual schools. So
Mhm.
how does career services work with individual schools? And will students be working with people in their associated school or major or just general help?
Yeah. So I like to use the analogy of Central Career Services. We are the main hub, but we think of us more as your general practitioner. So you're coming to understand your elements, get a diagnosis of what can be explored further to either alleviate what you're asking or take it to the next step in exploratory work. So we are the generalists to the schools and colleges becoming the specialists. We will work with students predict like yes, all 4 years, but we do a heavy emphasis on first, second year career development and then hand the reins off to the schools and colleges. That's not to say if a student does enjoy working with our office, we tell them, no, you need to go meet with your individual home school and college. All are welcome. The school and college career teams, they really work closely with the faculty, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation. They understand what's being taught in the classroom, so they bridge that in-class experience with real-world application by creating programs that are very synchronous with the work that's already being done there. But because of all the open lines of communication that we have through our career services network, we work in tandem to make sure students know about every type of event, every type of opportunity that they have at their disposal. And we want to make sure that if they feel comfortable in one area, we're never going to say no to them. About 60+% of our undergraduate student population have 2 majors. So just think of it, they have 3 areas to them potentially be working with for career assistance. If they are a information technology major with a second major in public communications, they have our School of Information Studies, they have our Newhouse School of Communications, and then they have the central office all working hand in hand to make sure that they feel fulfilled.
Great, thank you. So we have one last question. Are the internship financial awards need-based?
No, they are not. They're, w- Let me preface that. We still have to work very closely with financial aid to make sure that we are not worrying about any impacts that it has on financial aid packaging for the upcoming academic year. Very rarely is that ever a case, but I always want to make sure that that's out there because it happens maybe once, twice, maybe 3 times an academic year where a student is awarded an allotment of money through successfully completing their application and being awarded this opportunity. But based on their structured package through financial aid, we may not be able to allocate the full amount, but we work with them to make sure that they are getting just as much as they possibly can be to fulfill that summer experience.
Great. Thank you so much, Adam, for being here tonight. We really appreciate all the information. Thank you all for joining us this evening and to learn more about Syracuse University and our Career Services Department. We hope this information helps you see what life will be like for you as a student this fall and invite you to join some of our other virtual sessions or in-person visits soon. If you have any questions about the information shared tonight or anything else related to Syracuse University, please contact us via email at orange@syr.edu or by phone at 315-443-3611. Again, congratulations to all of you on your acceptance and go Orange.